Somebody asked a question. What is my channel about? Why would I feel that there's some value in asking for financial support? What is the goal of what it is that I'm trying to accomplish? I'm 51 years old, and out of my lifetime experience, I was dealing with abuse when I was a child, and then married it and divorced it, increased it. And at the same time, I seen some pretty wild things that you can just make a wish come true. I've have a long list of experiences like that. I at one time wanted contact lenses, and within 2 weeks, I'm wearing contact lenses, and I was just a kid at the time. That made me want to sort of study how do you make things happen in your life. I then said that God was mailing me an airbrush, and no matter how stupid it is, um, if you just use this process that I discovered, it happens. And within 2 weeks of me just saying, God's mailing me an airbrush, I had an airbrush mailed to me. I said when I had zero income, no savings, no credit, nothing, living in the most expensive area in Canada, I said I was going to buy a house. And within 2 weeks, I moved into my new house. So I have these experiences where I would attract bad shit, and I also know how to attract good shit. And on a scientific basis, I want to know, how can I repeat this? How can, whatever the answers are, I want to know it scientifically. I want to know, can I do it on cue? Can I just say, this is what I want to do, and what are the steps to be able to repeat this method or recipe into creating whatever dream it is that I want to create for myself? What's that recipe? So I found some answers that scientifically explain how really, really good shit gets attracted. Um, it also explains why abuse is experienced. We attract our experiences, and while we think that outside forces control our lives, it's actually coming from us. And when we are seeing a global problem, um, I'm in Canada. A lot of people here don't think that things are going bad, but um, the experiences of all of the abuse that led me onto a welfare system. Um, Most people that are on this system are dealing with crime that nobody wants to talk about. It's easier to blame victims, and that's frankly, if you understand what's going on, is as soon as you become a victim of something, it there's not that much will, want, or desire to solve that crime. We have to solve a crime, but we're not interested in solving the crime. So we'll put an innocent person responsible for that crime, and there won't be any help for a victim, and there'll be constant. You'll be put into a category that basically creates you into a criminal. So most criminals are victims of something. They're just very angry people that want to get even. They've learned a behavior pattern that society happens to be in agreement with. Um, we can change all crime, but crime has to sort of want to be stopped. And that's a good example of what's happening with this person that's trying to report me. It's like the people that are trying to pay attention to the law and live by the law are like, the only way to survive in our global experience is by being a criminal. Um, So this is what my channel is about, is trying to bring the sciences, the explanation of why we're all experiencing the kind of shit that we're experiencing. Knowing this shit doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect at interacting with it. Um, Even though I've known this stuff, I still find it challenging. Um, but I'm introducing the sciences. Holodynamics is good reading material. It does have a little bit of flaws in it, but it's a good start. Huge sciences in there like neurology, biology, quantum physics, information theory, um, psychiatry, religion, culture, pretty much any science that's relevant is discussed in that science of holodynamics, which what that guy's concept is looking at every problem from a whole perspective. It scientifically is proving that all problems have a solution, and all problems are just lacking information, and all problems go away as soon as the problem receives the information that it's lacking. And the whole universe is nothing but information. So these big wild world out there in the quantum or universal level is pretty friggin' interesting and not exactly what we think it is. So these are some really, really powerful tools that help solve every problem known to the human experience. Um, it's got some flaws in it. Um, Turns out that even if you do have a tool like this, a lot of us aren't really interested in it. We're not interested in solving our problems. And this tool has been used to cure cancer, AIDS, mental illness. Um, he's been testing it. The guy that created it has been testing it for 30 years to prove whether it works or not. And he's had an awful lot of success. The information is what I use to heal from a lot of physical problems that were created by a lot of the hell that I had to go through. Um, just in my walk forward of how to get off this welfare system is the techniques that are used in this concept. And it's not so much a new concept to me, it's what I've seen has worked in where am I attracting all of the good shit in my life and where am I attracting the bad shit in my life. This explains it. This is the science that says this is why it's all happening. And so this person that wants to report me, for fraud, this is my life experience. I attract that all the time. This is my black hole. This is what Stephen Hawking is studying. That whatever negative experience that is coming towards me, there's going to be an event horizon, and do I get pissed off? How am I going to handle it? How am I going to um, let this affect my life? It could stress me out to the max, and stress, my channel will explain how stress creates all illnesses. So it could destroy me or it can make me tough, but it helps to know access an information field, which is what I discuss. Right now, I would like to work on um, a website, an interactive website that gathers information. Um, a lot of the illnesses that were created from this abuse experience, my arms, because I had to work like day and night, so my arms were moving all the time. I was working on a computer at night, and a lot of times 12 hours a day in a factory. Some days it was 8 hours, but I was working an awful lot of overtime trying to earn enough money to feed my kids on a minimum wage job. So do the math and see how much I worked in a factory doing repetitive work, which kills the arms. And then I would go home at night and try to keep up on my programming skills. So hopefully one day when the hell died off, I could still do computer work, but can't do that. And what I've found illness to be is more of you've got to listen to your body, because your body will guide you down the perfect path. And like we need to have a brick hit over us with a head in order for us to get our life lessons. And having an injury or an illness is like your personal brick over the head that says you shouldn't be doing this in the first place. So while my arms, could be crippled to one sense, that's why I'm on a disability, is I cannot go out there and do the job government and corporation says I should. All of those jobs I knew that I physically shouldn't be doing, and I know that it wasn't my life purpose, but yet it was the only opportunity that I could have to feed my kids and fight the hell that I had to fight. I couldn't find any other direction. Right now, because you're in a disability, you're kind of forced to live in the world that you can function in. So if I go out in the world, I'll get injured again, and then there would be another super reason why I'm on a welfare disability. However, I am perfectly healthy if I listen to myself, which is, some donations came in. I need better rest, so a nice mattress because I haven't had a bed in so long, and working out. Just transportation, getting anywhere, meeting with anybody is next to impossible because um, no transportation. So I now will be able to afford a bus pass and go to a gym and get myself at least out of the house, and get another computer, which is um, it's going to be an added expense. So they're just in it, this is a shared computer, so but in order for me to even have this in the house, I'm paying for all of the internet connections. So that's one way that I'm asking for some support there. Uh, um, there's a bunch of information that I'm basically trying to share on my channel. I could write it as a book, but I happen to suck at writing books. So that obviously is not my path. I can talk and talk and talk, and I have a computer. For some odd reason, the universe can provide me with computers that I can do something with. So I get up every day and try and share the information I have with everybody. I think science, one problem that we go wrong is we end up creating something that only the rich can afford. They get educated on the sciences of how to manipulate our reality, and while the others that can't afford the information are easily taken advantage of. So this is why YouTube kind of works really well, because it's free for everybody to get the rules of the game of how to make something happen. And my whole channel is about how to inspire you or show you where your life purpose is and how to overcome problems. Um, One of them is going to be how I deal with this ex who harasses me, or whoever this person is that harasses me. It's my example. It's my diary, and watch how I handle this and see what happens. But that's needs some financial support. It's a job. Peace out.